Welcome to Heek Sunt Drakon here, B-Dragons. So, everyone is talking about the Chinese spy balloon that was just shot down off the US coast. And a lot of people are asking, why a balloon when the Chinese have satellites? However, did you know that our first few communication satellites were actually balloons in space? I don't mean space as in only 100,000 feet and maybe a quarter of the way to space like most balloons. I mean, they put balloons in actual space at real orbital velocities. They were launched to orbit, then inflated. The most well-known of these are Echo 1 and Echo 2. And they were what is known as a passive communication satellite. Unlike our current satellites that are really just an orbiting transmitter and receiver that picks up a signal, then retransmits it back down to the ground, the satellite balloons were giant, roughly 41-meter balloons made of reflective mylar, and quite literally bounced the signals off of them. While they did have a beacon transmitting at 107.9 megahertz, this was only for telemetry. Otherwise, these were literally just giant, floating, reflective balloons in orbit. The first test of a Satelloon occurred in October 1959, called Shot Put 1. It successfully delivered the Echo prototype to the desired altitude, but a small amount of gas in the folds of the balloon violently expanded, bursting the balloon. Due to this happening at sunset, with the sun perfectly aligned for reflecting off orbital objects, people up and down the Atlantic coast witnessed what looked like distant fireworks as thousands of pieces of shredded mylar reflected sunlight in an amazing display that lasted for about 10 minutes. 4 more shot tests were flown until May of 1960. Then, in May of 1960, the first attempt to orbit an Echo satellite failed. But 3 months later, Echo 1A was successfully put into orbit and inflated at an apogee of 1,048 miles and a perigee of 944 miles. It survived until May of 1968, which was incredible, as this was a giant balloon that kept dipping into the atmosphere. In January of 1964, Echo 2 was launched. In addition to passive communication experiments, it was used to investigate the dynamics of large spacecraft and for global geometric geodesy. Since it was larger than Echo 1A and orbiting in a near polar orbit, Echo 2 was conspicuously visible to the unaided eye all over the planet. In total, 13 Satelloons were flown, with the most recent one being not that far away in 1990, flown by, you guessed it, China. Have a great day.